Well, Joy News, we are independent, fearless, and credible. And you're watching Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace. In our headlines, this are pack your equipment and leave immediately. That's the order from the Upper East Regional Security Council to illegal miners who have taken over portions of land in the border community of Sapeliga. Details as the Ghana Boundary Commission says the miners continue to destroy important boundary pillars between Ghana and Burkina Faso. Also, as calls intensify for government to review increased cost of dialysis treatment, the National Health Insurance Scheme reveals it is set to roll out subsidy on the treatment for patients. We'll hear from some patients who say the situation has compelled them to skip dialysis sessions and also ration their food. Now, the city is once again in a free fall, and the traders union GUTA have already labeled it a crisis they claim has left their businesses in a mess. Today, at the forest bureaus across the country, $1 was exchanging for as much as 14 cedis, 80 pesos. We are learning of desperate measures by government in an attempt to arrest the free fall. And tonight, the business community, including GUTA and importers, are raising alarm over the rate of depreciation of the cedi against the dollar as they call on the central bank to intervene. Data analyst here at Joy News, Kofi-Addo, joins me in studio with more on that. Kofi, what more do we know exactly on how the cedi is falling?
Well, so let's go to the touch screen, and you can see the cedi has lost close to 20% of its value, more than 19% against the US greenback since the start of the year. At beginning of the year, let's see where we were. We were starting at somewhere 11 cedis, 98 pesos. And now we are talking about, let's look at the next slide, talking about almost 14 cedis, 80 pesos. And this 14 cedis, 80 pesos, if you look at the change, that's what we are talking about, that more than 20% rise. So there you have it. This is our monitoring from, other forest bureaus, Bloomberg, and, Google Finance. This is last year. This is how
January
was
2023.
Absolutely. 1st January to 14th May, the same period last year. See how the cedi moved from 9 cedis, 80 pesos to 11 cedis, 59 pesos.
So the rate of depreciation was not fast.
Absolutely. As compared to this year, where we've seen the cedi on the retail market moving from that 11 cedis, 98 pesos to 14 cedis, 80 pesos. But there's something we need to look at. Now, we know that when the cedi experiences such free fall 2-3 years ago, previously, what the Bank of Ghana does is that they come in to intervene and they do a lot of forest auctioning so that the pressure will come down. But we are currently under an IMF program, and before we went to that under IMF program, there were things that we had problems with. The first one had to do with our international reserves. And the reason why we had problems with the international reserve is because we had problems with the balance of payment issues. And we're going back to the reserves, and it started depleting. Now, IMF is in the picture trying to help you fund your balance of payment. So what you need to do is that you need to keep the reserves active. And so there was some agreement that we reached with the IMF, and that's making it impossible for Bank of Ghana to step in at the moment. And as you see on your screens there's going to be that gradual, limitation of forest intervention to achieve reserve targets. So unlike previously where Bank of Ghana can come in to inject or to do some sort of forest auctioning, they are going to do that gradual limitation. So they're not going to come in the way they used to come in.
But if it's gradual, why not come in now?
I mean, gradual, but you're going to reduce it. And, quote, they say we are firmly committed to limiting. The word is limiting monthly gross forest sales to a ceiling. And so it means that if Bank of Ghana was intervening every month about $80 million, now they are going to reduce it by a significant amount. And that is where the problem is. And also we know that key, commodities like cocoa that used to bring in more revenue, forex, in the first 2 months of the year, last year, we're looking around $711 million. Now, that has fallen by more than $200 million. Now, we are just talking about a little over $500 million. So cocoa. All of these things culminating into that problem we are having. And we know what is happening in Nigeria. That's also having a trickling effect on the currency situation in Ghana.
Well, interesting things that the question is, how do we deal with this situation at hand here? Now, Guta has released a statement detailing the impact that depreciation is having on their businesses. Let's share with you the details of the statement they released a while ago. Now, they said that if you look at the fact that they import things, now it says the Guta expresses deep frustrations over the current depreciation of the cedi, which is creating a big mess for the business community, especially the trading sector. They continue to then enumerate why they feel that this is the case. Now, Guta, traders, says this seeming crisis coupled with ever-rising freight charges from Asia are rendering the cost of doing business unbearable. That's according to Guta here. So let's go through what they say. They say that the current state of affairs has far-reaching implications and has caused prices of goods and services to increase for the consuming public. This is what Guta is putting across. Now, Guta again goes ahead to say that the inflationary pressures resulting from the depreciation cedi have pushed the cost of goods through the roof, making it increasingly difficult for businesses to stay afloat. So, if you look at how the cedi is performing, coupled with the freight charges that they have to pay at the port, which are already pegged at the dollar, it makes the cost of goods just skyrocket. They say that the purchasing power of the consuming public, that's you and I, has also been affected, thereby reducing the turnover of businesses. Because we cannot buy more, businesses are not also able to transact more. So their turnovers have been affected. They say payment or repayment of loans, because they borrow from the bank to import or to the bank, has then become extremely difficult. They cannot pay the loans that they do procure. So that is what they're saying. They're saying that the rising freight charges compounded by customs duties benchmarked to the dollar at the port are crippling trade and commerce, leading to untold hardships for businesses and consumers alike. So that is what Guta is saying there. Now they end by saying that it has increased unpredictability of the forecast of businesses. So the forecast of businesses, you cannot even, plan again for your business. That is what Guta is trying to put across here. We'll still keep an eye on that particular story. Now, away from that, the National Health Insurance Scheme has revealed that it is ready to roll out subsidy on the cost of dialysis treatment. This comes at the back of calls from the Renal Association of Ghana for government to review the recently increased cost of dialysis session. Parliament has approved a 111 Ghana cedis increase on the cost of dialysis services through the fees and charges regulation from 380 cedis to 491 Ghana cedis. We hear from the NHIS on their intervention, but first, listen to the ordeal of some kidney patients who tell Joy News they are compelled to skip dialysis sessions and also ration their food because of the high cost of treatment.
I always pray that God should sustain me for my next session. And other things that I do is I don't eat much. I don't drink much. As normal, like maybe in a day, 2 square meal or 3 square meal. No, I reduce my habit of eating and drinking.
And this is not because you are not hungry or thirsty. It is just because you don't want to consume so much that you may have to pass out a lot of waste, which may affect your kidney.
Exactly. Just for the toxics not to be matched before my session day.
And how do you live through hunger and thirst just to sustain your life?
The thing is, if maybe I'm supposed to eat maybe a half bowl of rice, I would have to take quarter.
And then you can go the entire day without taking water?
I can't, but I would have to minimize my fluid intake so it can sustain me till my next session.
Remember last year when this matter became so pronounced and the public reaction, government intervention that we are yet to actually see, and now it is that Parliament had to consider the fees and charges. It went through the 21-day maturation and it's now a law. And now, even with the old fees, you just told me that you were unable to keep going, especially the twice-a-week dialysis treatment. Now there's an increment, and government says that the increment is necessary to sustain the centers. How are you going to cope with the new increments? Is there any intervention coming anywhere?
So far, there's no intervention from anywhere. There's no I'm just praying and hoping something good will come from somewhere, especially from the church, the philanthropists, and other people who are capable of helping us.
But there seemed to be some glimmer of hope on this because the National Health Insurance Scheme has today reviewed. The scheme is set to roll out a subsidy on dialysis treatment. Dr. Akufo-Addo is Chief Executive Officer of the NHIS.
I think we've made progress on dialysis. Just last week, a committee that has been set up to chair and implement the disbursement of the funds that were approved by Parliament has actually concluded their report, including the dialysis patients themselves. So we work with them. They have concluded, and I can confidently say that within the next few weeks, we will be starting the disbursement to the various facilities. I can give you the details, which is obviously the fact that this one was for the needy, what was approved by Parliament for the needy. I know Parliament has also increased the cost of dialysis for the healthcare providers, which is they've taken it to 491. But if you look at Kolebu, we have a philanthropist supporting majority of them with about 380 Ghana cedis. So the difference is about 111. So the other hospitals do not have that support. So we're looking at supplementing for both patients from Kolebu, Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital, and Central Region, in such a way that for Kolebu, because they do get that support, we will be able to bridge a gap for them. Then we support our patients also from Cape Coast and Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital. But the fact is, they do 8 cycles per month. We cannot do all the 8, so we are looking at an average or maybe below average. We're yet to, obviously, like I said, the report is ready, so it's just to be taken to the board for final consideration, then the implementation starts.
Let's now listen to President of the Renal Association of Ghana, Kojo Bafwa-Henkra, to this announcement. He spoke to Elton Brobe on the pulse a while ago.
Maybe I have to resist it because it's like, it's going to be, when you take it, it's 4 weeks in a month. Mm-hmm. And each 4 weeks, if you are doing even 2 sessions, it's going to be 8, more than 8. 2 times 4.
Yeah, 8.
That will be 8 sessions. Mm-hmm. You do 8 sessions a month.
Right.
And they just want to take 2.
That's NHIS wants to take 2. 2 weeks.
No, they want to take 2 sessions out of this.
Out of the 8 sections.
It's a subsidy. We will take it for now.
Out of the 8 sections.
Yes.
8.
Yes.
So you have to pay for the 6.
Yes.
And you accept this?
Oh, it's better than none. I mean, at least we are making a headway. At least we are making a headway out of it. I mean, if you get 2 out of this, at least you can also.
I mean, that is something that you can also help to save your money for future expenses.
But the point is, I'm just putting it straight there. Still, it's not sustainable. And if NHIS can do full recovery of this, the better it is. Because I see it to be, let's increase the premium of the national insurance that we pay. I think it's 26.
They have made a proposal.
Yes.
There's also the issue about government capping.
Yes.
That must be addressed.
Yes. When I think all those things are done, it will be very easy for the national health insurance to take full recovery of the national health insurance.
Meanwhile, our new dialysis series on the dialysis crisis premieres tomorrow, May 15. This is what to expect.
This morning, people are dying each day. The dialysis machine in Kolebu Gospel. Do you know the number of people who died? A 24-year-old boy died this morning.
As death stares at them every second, they have to pay just to live another day. But government has increased the already high cost of dialysis treatment.
even the people were dying because of the previous cost. They were not able to afford the costs involved. Yet they say they're going to increase it. For such an announcement, especially at the time that we've made a lot of noise asking for a reduction, even on the 350 that was being charged. And then we wake up and the next thing we are hearing is that rather the prices are going to go up.
This may send hundreds to their early graves.
Sometimes you think that, oh, Charlie, if you die, cry, it will be okay, so that your burden on the family and the friends will be over.
The payment aspect is serious. We are going to die.
There's no hope for me.
Dialysis crisis, a year on.
Well, away from that, residents and traders at the busy Abu-Abo station in Kumasi are living in a deteriorating sanitation environment as filth engulf a major drain in the trading space. In this episode of Filth Exhibition, Clinton Yeboah shed light on growing health concerns of an area swimming in rubbish. Here is the report.
The verdict of these residents and traders at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle is a sum of many others Joy News spoke to. Yes, they are aware of the filth in which they live and sell, but the solution, according to them, lies in the authorities who have to provide them with rubbish bins.
Circle property had the intimate friend say, Obia do Pewa.
This place, people choose to throw rubbish anywhere and anyhow. So we need dustbins so that people will find it difficult throwing rubbish on the floor. Just look at how nasty it is to see the heaps of rubbish in the middle of the road. The people from AMA sweep the area, but how the rubbish is collected is not the best. Rubbish containers are needed to keep all garbage collected. Just see how people throw rubbish on the floor, just because there is no dustbin.
That's the average one to be a more boiler container. Oh, boiler go on, and we're very pretty baby.
Even after collection, the nauseating stench that fills the air in the immediate surrounding is not befitting for a citizen.
Traders and households are equally culpable in the insanitary state of the Abu-Abo Old Railway Lorry Station. Indiscriminate disposal of solid wastes into drains in the area has left the environment drenched in stench and filth. Despite the cleaning routines of traders at the busy Abu-Abo Lorry Station, the big gutter is an abode of everything rubbish, including food packaging, empty plastic bottles and glasses, rotten food scraps, and fruit peels. People resort to urinating in the filthy gutters, heightening the stench consumed by residents of Roman Hill, Ashtown, and Abu-Abo. Traders and passerbys are exposed to health hazards.
They urinate here, and you can smell the waste, but we have to endure and eat here. They dispose their waste into the gutters when it rains. All the waste are from Alaba. It's not us, the traders. The gutters are choked with waste from residents around. A gutter like this should not be opened or exposed. It must be covered. Aside that, it must be drenched frequently.
Residents and traders attribute the worsening conditions to the neglect of local authorities to clean the area.
A man paying for Monjo, John Panio, a boiler way, any Joma Mayan Bassa, some more bay, Edia Mayamonga, a free power.
Look, country leaders, at how we are living and selling along with waste in this gutter. If sanitation task forces were working, would we be living around this?
Call for action have been mounting. The affected persons are demanding immediate intervention from the local government to address the stalled gutter crisis before it escalates.
We need to keep ourselves clean. There should be a barrier to sieve the waste from the water and separate them.
Some boy near you go we are so Fregata at home. In some more central market to me,
they should quickly make markets ready for us to trade there. This isn't a healthy place to be.
If I win a cotaban, I buy them wire markets. Then I strike it any day. My this them they slap by one. Why?
Reporting for Joy News, my name is Clinton Leopold.
Now, climate change experts have called for the West African sub-region to take ambitious actions on climate change adaptation and mitigation aimed at strengthening the adaptive capacities of countries to measure greenhouse gas emissions. Following this, the concerted regional modeling and observation project, one of the main research works of the West African Science Services Center on Climate Change and Adaptive Land Use, has initiated a project to identify emissions mitigation options under climate change and land use for food security in West Africa. Kofi Siao participated in a two-day regional technical workshop in Kumasi and has come through with this report.
Concerted regional modeling and observation assessment brought together stakeholders from different West African countries, including Ghana, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, and Niger, to look into reducing greenhouse gas emissions and improve food security. The aim is to adapt strategies to threats, opportunities, and uncertainties to improve food security in the sub-region. Speaking to journalists on the sidelines of the workshop, Professor Dr. Kunzman says the workshop has become necessary because of increasing threat to climate change in the West African sub-region.
The background is that West Africa is threatened by climate change. The West African countries face tremendous challenges, increased heat waves, changing water availability, droughts, but on the other hand also flooding and heavy precipitation. Albeit West Africa has not contributed a lot to worldwide CO2 emissions. So West Africa is threatened and needs to adapt, and in parallel the entire world community need to mitigate. And in that project we try to find very specific solutions for West African communities and West African countries.
In order to achieve a successful implementation of the program, Dr. Jan Blemfenich explained the need for the provision of data services and scientific computation. The Executive Director of the West African Science Services on Climate and Adaptable Land Use, Professor Kehinde Ogunjobi on the spot, says the concept project seeks to leverage on agriculture and land processes to achieve food security.
Yes, this is what we're experiencing. I think, number one, you have seen today that CONSAT is one of the projects that is looking at the greenhouse gases, right? And we are trying to see how we can balance between issues of food security and also meeting the 1.5 to 2.0 degree temperature, which we have been talking about in the COP, in the Conference of Party. So we want to see now, you are producing rice, for example. You are also releasing greenhouse gases, your carbon dioxide or methane, and also your NOx. And all these are greenhouse gases that affect the climate of our environment, of West Africa. But we still need to have our food, right? We still need to have food security. So an example of what we are doing in Huascar is how to leverage on the agricultural processes, land use, land cover processes, and still have food security. So
now, it's a vast land at Sapelega, a border community in the Upper West region where both the young and old from Ghana and Burkina Faso go to engage in illegal mining without any state authority preventing them. But today, in a move facilitated by the Ghana Boundary Commission, the Upper East Regional Security Council has asked the miners to park their equipment and leave. There's more in this report.
Of illegal miners have gathered on this site. Many of them attempted fleeing after seeing the personnel from the Upper East Regional Security Council and the Ghana Boundary Commission, but they were asked to stay. Here, one of them who spoke on behalf of the group, Abil Fatau, said some of them used the money from the Galamsey to fund their education.
It's going to be big distance to the society as where we all live. All of us depend on this. Apart from this, there's no source of income we get. On the there's no dam, apart from rainy season we farm. There's no dam around here that they will think that we should go and farm. There's no dam, nothing is there. Where we get to eat is just here. The women all come and sell their pure water, all the farm, those at the market, this is where they all depend on. This is where they all depend. They make their interest on everything, they make it on this. So if they are asking us to vacate on this, and without giving us another alternative to also go and get something on it, I think it's going to be a big harm to the society.
The Ghana Boundary Commission facilitated the exercise to clamp down on the activities of the illegal miners. Its Commissioner General, Major General Emmanuel Kotia, said the illegal miners, through the activities, continue to destroy Ghana's boundary pillars with Burkina Faso. He said this can lead to disagreements between the two countries if the boundaries are not well defined.
One, there were a lot of interferences so far as our boundary line is concerned. Some of these activities led to the removal of international boundary pillars, and for that matter, there was no clarity so far as the markings of the boundary is concerned. And then, because we have quite a sizable number of people coming from Burkina Faso to do a lot of illegal activities here, if we don't take care, whereas these boundary pillars are removed, some of our territories can be taken or probably can be declared as part of Burkina Faso because these markings are not visible on the ground. That is the reason why, one, we have decided to facilitate the construction of the patrol routes, and that also serves as a marking to the international boundary pillar because just 20 meters away from it. One of the reasons why actually we facilitated the RESEC to come here is for them to understand what is ongoing here, so that RESEC plays a very key role so far as the territorial sovereignty of the country is concerned, especially regions that have boundaries with our neighbors. So we work in collaboration with RESEC to ensure that our boundaries are secure.
Aside from degrading the environment, the head of the Upper East Regional Security Council and the Regional Minister Fisbin Salis says terrorists can exploit the unregulated and illegal mining ongoing in the area to fund their nefarious activities.
No. So this time, as I indicated, we've come on a friendly mood. The next time is not going to be this way. Right now, Faso, there are insurgents there, and there are terrorists who want to infiltrate into our country. And to be able to perpetrate what they are doing, they need finance. So they engage in what you people are doing. So in order to save the people of this country, we want to stop issues of this nature so that people don't have means of funding their nefarious activities.
Now, joining us for a conversation on this via Zoom is the Commissioner General of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Emmanuel Kotia. Grateful to you, sir, for joining. Now, the Boundary Commission facilitated this visit. How important is it for the area to be cleared for your work there to go on smoothly?
Very important, and good evening to your listening viewers. Very important because
the activities of these illegal miners has affected our boundary pillars over the past years. So sometime in 2021, we were alerted by the intelligence agencies about what was going around there. So we visited there. When we visited there, we realized that one of the key challenges why the security agencies could not keep their eyes along the boundary was because there was no access route to the boundary. So we facilitated the construction of a feeder road to the border areas, and then we also included in that package a patrol route. And the patrol route along the international boundary is just 20 meters from the boundary place. That will aid the security agencies in their patrol so that they can observe what is happening. In addition, the Ghana Boundary Commission could also occasionally visit those areas to assess what is going on so far as our international boundary is concerned. And
I heard you talk about the fact that if nothing is done, the area could be declared as part of Burkina Faso. So as we speak today, once you know that, what's been done there to ensure that that does not happen?
Yes, so the first thing is that we've constructed this feeder road, so the patrolling is going on. The second thing is that as of now, we are currently in Bolga having a joint meeting with Burkina Faso. And as part of the joint meeting, we are going to carry out a reaffirmation exercise along the international boundary line with Burkina Faso to construct new boundary pillars that would leave clear markings on our boundaries. Because the old boundary pillars were very shallow, and out of natural activities, some of these pillars have been removed. So these are some of the concrete steps that we are going to take to facilitate that our territorial sovereignty is safeguarded.
But we are worried that, what the illegal miners are doing could be taken advantage of by the terrorists to infiltrate Ghana. How safe are we? Are we saying that as we speak, we do not have them already in the country and that the military is on top of this?
Yes, so the military, because of the patrol routes and the access to the area, the military is actually in control. What I know is that the military is even in the process of establishing a forward operation base in that area. So that one, but it is a fact that majority of the illegal miners cross from Burkina Faso to Ghana to carry out these illegal activities and carry this gold to Burkina Faso.
Okay. So my question was whether or not we are sure that we do not have some of these terrorists already infiltrating in this country and that we're living with some of them. Yesterday we heard that some of them even come to access hospital services in Ghana. What's the situation per your intelligence?
I have no evidence of that, but what I know is that preventive measures have been taken, and I believe that for multimedia, you need to keep hold of the document of the National Framework for Countering and Violent Extremism in Ghana. And that document really outlines, it's a public document, it outlines the preventive measures that security and intelligence agencies are taking to prevent the activities of terrorism in Ghana.
General, I'm grateful to you for joining us tonight, and all the best to you and your men on the ground. So that General Emmanuel Kotia, he is the Commissioner General of the Boundary Commission of Ghana. We'll take a break here on the Joy News Prime. We'll be back with more to stay.
Amounts about 7.4 million.
Let's deal with the other stories. In a heartfelt response to the overlooked needs of elderly residents in nursing homes, some students of the International School of Accra are embarking on a project to ease the plight of residents at the pension home for the elderly. My colleague Esther Nkrumah interacted with some of the students and has come through with this report.
The elderly often face neglect and abandonment in nursing homes, lacking little or no support from their families. To address this issue, students from the International School of Accra are embarking on a project to assist the residents of the Passion Home for the Elderly as part of a requirement in their IB diploma curriculum. Jane Anderson is the assistant CAS coordinator for the school. She sheds more light on the program.
CAS is a core aspect of the IB diploma program, where students are encouraged or required to partake in an activity or a service. So it's actually interwoven. It's creativity, activity, service. So the students come up with creative ways to help the society. They also engage in certain activities and also render a service to society.
The students share with me why they decided to help the elderly for their project.
We had a number of project ideas. There was quite a whole list of them. And then it came down to the class executives to decide which one we thought was going to make the greatest impact on people's lives. So we decided, okay, why not just visit this elderly home? It doesn't make a difference. It's just going to be to see what they do and see how it would be like if we helped them. So when we went, they were very lively, they were chatty. It was just such an awesome experience overall. And it just informed us, okay, this could be our grandparents, this could be our parents. So what stops us from helping them? Because the people in this elderly home, Passion Home Care, which is an Adenta, they suffer from various illnesses, both mental and physical. There's patients with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, stroke patients. So they decided, okay, these people need our help and they don't get that much support. So decided to help them out and try our best to make an impact in their lives.
Oh, that's very beautiful, making an impact in the life of the elderly. Most times, people drop their parents, grandparents at the home for the elderly, and they're often neglected. And it's a very beautiful idea that you're embarking on this project to help them. So is there a specific amount you're looking to raise from this project? I would like the financial secretary to answer that.
We have been able to raise about 2,000 Ghana cedis and through Snack Day sales and also the Valentine's Day sales. And our target is at least 10,000 Ghana cedis, and meaning that we are still far from our target. That's why we are soliciting for funds from everybody, workers and teachers, and also companies that are attached to support us to make it a success.
Thank you. So during that, apart from the financial support, what other support are you looking to receive from the public?
Okay, so we're looking for toiletries such as adult diapers, disinfectants, soaps, tissues. We're also looking for medical supplies such as vitamins and medications. Also entertainments for them such as board games, cards, and any.
Now, barely 7 months to the 2024 general elections, the governing New Patriotic Party is yet to settle on who will partner its flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. It's been rumored that a seeming delay in announcing the running mate is due to conflicting choices and infighting among the top hierarchy of the party. Joining me via Zoom now for details on this, a spokesperson is the Director of Communications of the Bawumia campaign team, Dennis Merikos Abuaje. Merikos, I'm grateful to you for joining us. Now, what is causing the delay, and from the party's perspective, what would you say is the strategy in delaying the announcement of the running mate? Has anybody been settled on?
First of all, I wonder where the conversation about delay is coming from, because there's no delay. The party clearly have our plan, we have our strategy, and we are within our timeline. So I am wondering, there is no delay. Before you raise the issue of delay, then you know what the timelines are. And I don't think the party has communicated any such timeline for you to say there is a delay. In any case, this is not the first time we're selecting a running mate, and we know when the running mate should be announced. I mean, what are we measuring against? We've had running mates selected in several elections. In fact, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia himself in 2008 was selected or nominated in August 2008. A similar scenario. That was a time when we were in government and we were going to run for a third term, and then he was nominated. And nothing has changed. In May, he was elected barely 6 months ago. And I wonder who is actually talking about delay. Within the party, there are no struggles. There are no qualms. There is no election coming up. The nomination of the running mate is a nomination. And it's an election. So there is no qualms. There is no. I think at this point, the only one human being probably know who is likely to be the running mate, and that's the flag bearer, and it's in his head only.
All right, Marcus, I'm grateful to you that you are telling us there's no implosion. Well, this is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break here. We'll bring you showbiz. Stay. Well, yeah, I mean, this lady will always make me laugh before we come on air. Well, you know what it is. Becky is here with Showbiz. Hi,
Hello to you, Braze. Why are you laughing? Let me tell you about Stonebwoy. So we had a conversation with Stonebwoy, and he's been commenting on the TGMA.
Okay.
TGMA's 2024. You know that he had, the most nominations, and he says that, well, if he happens to win all the awards, he will take it, and he's been nominated in all these awards, and essentially he's hoping to win. I think so, but I mean, he's been political about it. Stonebwoy, everybody.
I think there's nothing to expect from me in terms of awarding and all of that. What you should expect from me is if I'm performing, I'm going to give my all. Having the highest nomination means that you've worked, you've really worked, because nonetheless, I've been here for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, been doing this for at least some number of years, and I can only continue to show experience and lead the charter as a very formidable force in terms of being a Ghanaian musician and bringing fun, love, joy to the face of the people. That's what I'm really concerned with. And therefore, should my work really accord or warrant any form of acknowledgement, I believe that it is in its right way, because over the years, the name Stonebwoy is a giant name on the continent of Africa and in the world. So why not in Ghana?
Out of all the nominations, which one do you think that if I don't win any crowd, this one there, I for win them?
Believe me, if I win all of it, I'll take it. That's how I'm thinking. Yes.
Boy, right there. Yeah. Let's move away from Stonebwoy. Let's talk about King Paluta.
Hey.
Now, a lot of, rappers now going down the singing lane. Kofi Kinata started recently. Amrado told us, or told Andy Dossi, that he has moved from the rapping because he's realized that people have gravitated towards singing more. Okay. Today, King Paluta is saying the same thing. He says that the singing is paying, the singing is giving him all the travel networks and all of that, and so sing it is.
Okay.
With Joe Fraser, you gave some few lines, and the rest were
singing, because like the singing is singing at the Akoko Germany now. You see, so it's not a rap. Sorry, I am King Paluta.
Few days ago, I'm going to read some comments, but Allah, me, I'm like, who you sing? What that
Charlie singing?
It means what?
Yeah, singing, because
wait. So this is the time that a lot of people are unleashing their rap.
And I think for now, me more singing, because the singing is working.
But we're in a rap era now. It's like, people
we are not in a rap era. We are in the Aseda era.
Really?
Yeah, we are in the Aseda era. Aseda is topping charts all over the place. So what you say? Sako there, or drop a brag. There you forget the attention. So what you say? But it's Aseda King Paluta season.
Let me tell you about what we have for Prime Movie Box this evening. Legendary Pictures Cinematic Monsterverse follows up the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong with all new adventure that pits the almighty Kong and fearsome Godzilla against a colossal undiscovered threat hidden within our world. Those of you who love Godzilla and Kong. I remember the day I watched King Kong with my dad. I was so little.
That's been so many years ago.
That's
so many years ago.
For those of you who love that, we're so grateful. I'm telling you all about it so that you can go and watch with your family. That'll be all for the news this evening. Don't mind Brace. I'm just ending it all here for us. Log on to myjoyonline.com. That's where you find all the news. I look beautiful. Look at me.
You do.
I love looking at myself on TV.
No, it's fine. Yeah. Show us, baby. Okay, all right. There's more news on myjoyonline.com.